Hi, it's Jessie from Peach Manifesto, and today we are cutting inexpensive AliExpress brushes to make them work better for us. So I'm doing 3 different brushes. One is like a little detail, one is a short liner, and then the other one is a long liner. Now, all these 3 brushes came from different stores, from different videos. I'll link those videos below. And let's get started. So I thought I'd start with the smallest one first. I felt like this one had a lot that needed trimmed from it. And the reason I kind of just went over the bristles with my finger there is because a lot of times they have a little glue in them to make them stiff. So you want to kind of get that out before you start cutting. And basically it's as simple as just taking a few hairs and trimming and going around the edge. You never want to go in too deep. You just want to take 2, 3, maybe 4 hairs at a time. And I try to get nice and close to show you. I am filming with my iPhone, so it is what it is. I'm sorry if there's anything that's kind of like weird shot, but just go slow, take your time, and just go around evenly. That's probably the most important thing. Don't go too deep, don't go into the middle or anything. Just keep going around the edge. Just slowly turn your brush as you make little cuts. And then I'm just going to speed the rest of this up here because it does take a time, and there is some where you'll see where I'm taking quite a bit. This brush was actually quite a bit thicker than I like to work with, and it seems like I'm taking a lot. I am. Like, there's a lot of hairs come off, and then you will see later in the video that I test this brush out, and I think that's important too. When you're first kind of doing this, cut around evenly, test it out. If it's not where you want, clean your brush out, cut some more, test again. Because with this one, I thought I had cut like a ton out and it would be fine. But when I tested it, it just wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. So I went and cut a bunch more out. And as you can see, I took a lot out, and now I am skipping to the next brush. Is kind of the liner style brush. I do like this style for swirls and like fine lines as well. And sorry if I'm out of frame again, I apologize. But yeah, so this guy didn't really need a whole lot taken out. And I feel like I'm getting pretty good, especially with this style. This is the style of brush that I've probably cut the most because it is the one I like to use for a lot of like the fine lines and details. Most of my clients do have shorter nails, and I find this really easy to work with for lines and little detail type work. But as you can see, I'm just snipping away, going around, turning the brush as I go. You can kind of see that little ledge of cut bristles that I do. I try to get as close to the base as possible, but it is kind of good to see like that you're even. You can kind of twirl it and compare and see how much you have on each side, going around and just making sure that it's really symmetrical. So now obviously we are into the long liner brush, and this one I am hacking away at. It was super, super fat, and this is one of the most inexpensive brushes that I'm showing you. And yeah, I cut a ton off, and this is totally out of focus. I apologize. One thing I thought I would mention is that like you don't really need to buy super expensive brushes. There's a lot of really quality brushes that you can get that are like just as good as like super expensive ones you see, and sometimes they just need a little bit of work, like some cutting. And this is me testing out the detail brush and realizing it's not quite where I want it to be, and then I go and cut more out. So this is what it looks like when I finally get it to where I want it. It's very, very thin, as you can see, and I'm able to achieve a much thinner line with it and able to do a little swirl that I like to do. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Most brushes are made in China. It's just a few companies that are actually making them, and they kind of sell like all ranges of affordability, and then people buy them or then they put their name on them. Different companies do that, and they mark up the price. So like when you're buying from places like AliExpress and things like that, you really are just ordering direct from manufacturer, and often you're getting the same quality of brush that other gel suppliers and things like that are selling you. So again, this is like the second brush. I tested it out. I really liked how it performed, and yeah, that was perfect. I didn't need to cut any more off of this one. And then I will test out my longer liner brush, and I should have loaded up the gel a little bit better. So it took a couple passes more than it normally does because I didn't quite have the gel loaded up on it as nicely as I normally do. But it does a beautiful straight line. So I thought I would show you something I did with this little teeny brush. And I did this wonderful little swirl, and just to show you that you can make these wonderfully inexpensive brushes work for you and you can do awesome art with it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you all later. Bye bye.